I think we could probably go ahead and start.
Yeah, anyone else can catch up. So, all right, we'll get started. First of all, welcome. I'm glad you're joining us today. And I'll just show you what we're going to do. We're going to make these little car trash cans. And there's a little bit of sand in here to weight it. You just flip this over your glove box door and close it, and it just hangs right there. You can toss your trash in. It's really easy to empty. And they're super simple to make. So all you need is a fat quarter of fabric and 18 inches of this 1/2 inch wide boning. And so if you've got all your materials ready, we'll get started. So you can use yardage or a fat quarter. And so you'll cut an 18 by 18 inch square from your fabric, and then along your side, if it's a fat quarter, you'll want to cut 12 inches by 2.5 inches. Or if you have yardage, you can cut a piece 4 inches by 6 inches. So I'll let you get your cutting done, and then let me know when you're ready.
Susan, I'm not making the project. I'm just
watching along
and taking notes.
Okay, that's great.
And we're recording it too, so they'll be able to go back and.
Yeah, it's Vita's recording, so it will be on the website and the Facebook page later on.
Thank you.
So you said cut 18 by 18 and
Yeah.
a 4 by 6 if we
Yeah.
have yardage.
Yes.
Okay.
Live television.
Yeah, I'm not very good at conversations, so I don't know how to keep this rolling.
Margaret, what have you been working on lately?
I'm still trying to finish Bonnie Hunter's mystery.
Oh, fun.
Oh.
I made it into a king size quilt, and it is so big and cumbersome.
Wow.
Mm.
Did you make it as the mystery was going along, or did you wait until you had all the clues?
No, I waited. I mean, I did it as she put the clues out.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I'm doing a mystery quilt right now. It's the first time I've ever done one, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Who are you doing yours with?
It's through the quilt shop in Drummond. It's called Somerville. And I can't remember the designer's name that sends us the clue each month.
Uh-huh.
So I just ordered the kit, so I didn't have to choose fabrics. It was easier that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes it's easier that way. I did
Yeah.
go with Bonnie's color scheme, but
So the other day I decided I was gonna check out Sue Spargo because of Rose.
Yeah.
And Margaret will probably be able to appreciate this, but I wanted to do the block of the month light that Sue Spargo is doing this year.
Fun.
And but the signups had closed, and so it said you can still get in, but you had to call this number and talk to this person or email. So I sent an email and I said, I'd like to get in to the block of the month light. What do I need to do? And then a whole day went by and nothing. So, I call and the girl says, well, we'll be in contact with you on the 1st of March. And I'm like, why? Can you not do this now?
Yeah.
And she said, well, we have 2,000
Oh, wow.
subscribers. Now, what I didn't get, Margaret, is this 2,000 total between the regular block of the month and the block of the month light, or is this just block of the month light?
Wow.
Doesn't matter. Because then after I got off the phone, I was like, what's the math on that? So, because your initial charge for the block of the month light is $135.
Oh, wow.
For the first bit of stuff. And then every month after that, it's $20. And they charge you $25 to sign up.
Oh, wow.
So I did the math and it's over $400,000.
Whoa. That's incredible.
And I said to myself, well, you're in the wrong
I was just thinking the same thing.
I was like, oh my gosh, holy cow. And she said they have no less than 35 to 40 people a month still trying to get in.
Wow.
That's why she's not processing them as they come in. She just waits till the first of the month and she lets, usually they have a waiting list.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes, very crazy.
It's like, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. That's insane. No, I really do want to do it. I was like, I really do want to make that quilt.
Yeah, but when you figure that out,
Yeah, I was like, holy cow.
yeah.
I think we should
Amazing.
have Rose into doing us some classes because I really like Sue's Spargo's stuff too. But
Say that one more time. We couldn't hear you very well. What was that, Margaret?
I said I looked at her site and I kind of did the same thing you did. It's so pricey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is
So
what I
amazing.
did, Margaret. I got into my checker account in one tab on my computer and her site on the other. And I went through what I wanted because Sally Wright is going to do one of the needle
Oh,
roll
needle
up
turn?
things, the
Uh-huh.
needle bags or whatever that you put all the different needles that you need in
Oh, right.
as an introduction to wool applique. And it's one of the guild sponsored
classes?
classes. So it's $10.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, oh, I could do that and see if I like it, right? Well, online, and I was gonna just get a kit because I was like, just give me the kit with the needles and the stuff, and it was like, okay, here's what comes in the kit, and then you might want to have this and this and this and this, and I was like, well, so then I just got 2 different tabs, and I was like, okay, well, what can I get over here at Checker?
Right.
And what do I have to get from Sue Spargo? It took me over an hour to figure that out.
Oh, my goodness.
So I don't know. I don't want to begrudge anybody their business model. I gotta make sure I don't spend all my money in one spot. Where did Cheryl go?
Yeah,
She
I
must be
don't know. She
cutting.
must be still be cutting. Give her another minute here.
Maybe she's at her stash trying to figure out what fabric she wants to use.
Yeah, now that she knows what she's making. So I'm using this fun animal fabric. I'm making it for my granddaughter's friend. They're both in FFA. So it's a birthday gift for her friend. They spend most of their time at the sheep barn.
Out of trouble at least, huh?
That's
Go ahead,
right.
Cheryl.
Yes. All right. Wonderful. So just decide if your fabric has a direction. And if it does, you'll want it to be going up and down, but you're going to just fold it in half. And then sew a 1/4 inch seam down this long side. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right. And then we can press that seam open.
Dogs. Sorry, guys.
What was the length on the boning again? It's a 1/2 inch wide.
18 inches,
Okay.
half a yard. Give it another press. I haven't let the iron heat up very good.
Yeah, it takes a minute to get hot. My latest favorite thing is this. It's a starch pen, but it's a
Oh.
sugar starch.
Wow.
And so, and you can refill it. So you can put it along the seam and press down on the tip. Yep. And it'll put a little starch on there. If you need more, you just press the tip down like you do a paint pen.
Oh,
Yeah.
to load it. Oh, there I see.
Uh-huh.
Does it kind of muck up your iron though?
No,
And then iron
because
over
it's a
it.
sugar starch. It is, but it's not a sticky thing. It's not like the starch that comes in a can.
Oh, nice.
And then you can get, you can refill it. The end of the pen opens up and you can refill it. And then I have a gallon-sized jug of the stuff to put in
Oh,
here.
wow. That made a nice crisp seam.
Yeah, it does.
So do you have that done, Cheryl? So our next step then is this little tab. So fold it so it's like about 2 by 6. And so either one seam across the bottom or 2 seams, depending on if you used a 12 by 2.5 or a 4 by 6. So we'll sew this so we have an opening at the top.
Would you repeat that, please?
Sure. So your small piece of 4 by 6, or if you did 2.5 by 12, you're going to fold it so you have a piece that looks 2 by 6. And then sew on the long side and one of the short sides and leave the other end open.
Okay.
No, I had 2 threads coming out of the bottom. Yeah, that's one loose one. Got it. I don't know. I don't know where that's coming from.
There it's stopped. And then I like to just clip off this little pointy corner so it's not so bulky when you turn it. And then we're going to turn this right side out.
There's a boning.
Oh, perfect. That will be handy. I've read a tip that somebody likes to use an antler point for
Mhm.
turning.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's pointy, but not so pointy that it stabs through.
Sure.
Okay. And then when you get that turned, we'll give it a press. Then we're going to turn this so that it's a full, turn it in half the long ways. So you have a piece that's 9 inches tall. But you want to look at it. If your fabric seems to have a direction, you want to make sure your outside has the direction going up and down. Or correctly up. And then just get your raw edges even. And we'll press a crease here in the top. So you have a piece that looks like this. The boning seems to want to always curl one way. It has more stiffness that way. So I keep it curled that way and just kind of hold it into a circle and then insert it in here so it's in the layers facing the wrong side of the fabric. We're just going to tuck it in this little opening and get it all the way up here to where we just made that crease.
Oh.
And it'll overlap just a little bit because it's 18 inches and now we've taken a ½ inch out of our circumference. So that's good. I just let it overlap right here at my seam in the back. And pins.
Right on the other side of the machine
There.
there. Oh.
I like to just put a couple pins in it just holds it and keeps my crease right where I want it. And now we're just going to sew a top stitch around here, kind of creates a casing. You don't want to sew through the boning because your needle doesn't like that. So you're just sewing a little bit below the boning, so a little over a ½ inch. So just make a seam around there.
If you press that button there, yeah,
And
it'll slide off.
And the open arm feature is very helpful at this step. I'll just bring these back over here.
I'm gonna come over here so I can see a little bit
Okay.
better.
So I just picked a guide on the machine that's this right, so I can sew a little beyond that. Go back to the end, pull it out. And then we can select it. All right, so now we've got that. Next, we need to close our bottom. So I like to get my seam here and find that's exactly halfway across on it and put a pin. I don't know how we're getting that from. Yeah, let's see what that is.
Let's see. Who makes the starch pen?
Oh,
That's
it's
Acorn.
Acorn. Okay, so when you find your halfway point from your seam, then we want to tuck this bottom through here a little bit so that we're sewing on the inside. And I'm going to match the seam to this pin I put in. And then at these corners, we want to give it a little bit of shape like this. So we're going to make just a little pleat over here. So I just have to remember which way I went. So at this edge, I'm just going to tuck it in about 1/2 inch. And it's easier if I put a pin here. And then I can just give it a little fold on each side, 1/2 inch deep. And then I'll put my pin through all the layers so I can sew. So again, what I did was I just put a pin at this fold. And then it holds it so I can just tuck it in and have about 1/2 inch tuck right there. And I sewed about a 3/8 inch seam across here, or 1/4 inch is fine. And then if you have a serger, that works really good to finish this edge, or you can just zigzag it. I'm just going to trim off some of my little wild ends here. Okay, and we can sew this seam. And then I'm going to put it back on the machine and zigzag across there.
Oh, good
And
question.
then
You know
it's
what?
right here.
Make sure, what foot does it say?
Oh, it's the, we can't zigzag with this foot.
Here, let's do it over here. This is set up.
Okay. We're just going to switch and use the serger real quick.
So we don't have to dig out another foot.
Here, now all of our little ends are contained. Now we can poke this back in so we have our right side out, and then we have our nice little corners to create the bottom in it. So that part's done, and we're ready to make our tab. This is where the funnel and the sand come in. And we only need to fill it up about 1.5 inches, and it doesn't have to be very tight. You don't have to pack it in there. So it takes only a couple tablespoons maybe. I'm just going to stick the funnel in here, hold on to it while I pour a little sand. And then I'll just check. And that's plenty. In fact, I think I'm going to pour just a little bit back out. So that's really good. It's about that much. Fills up about 1.5 inches of it. And I like to just put a pin as close to the sand as I can. And then I carefully go to my machine and lay it down because I don't want that sand to spill where I'm sewing. And you can sew like 1/4 inch away from your pin just to give yourself some space. Okay, so now we have our little weighted tab made. Cover up the sand so I don't spill it. I might know why. And then on your back side where your seam is, just place this centered over your seam. And it doesn't have to come all the way up to the edge. It can be 1/4 inch down just so you're catching some of that raw edge across there.
So random when it makes that noise.
And then pull this up to the top. And you're going to top stitch. I would do it from the inside and just top stitch right along here. And you can kind of push the boning down a little bit so you're stitching right above it. And that's all there is to it. This will just slip over the glove box and close in and hang right there for you.
It's so stinking cute.
And they're so fast. I think I made 10 of them for Christmas gifts.
Yeah, if we do the Maid Fair again, we need to have a bunch of those to sell. How
Oh,
many
that's a
people would
great
buy
idea.
those
Yeah.
for their cars?
And it's an inexpensive project. The boning cost about $1.50 a yard. I ordered it from Joann's online because they were out here in Missoula. And a fat quarter of fabric is $3 to $4. Or if you've got yardage, you could do it for less than that. So, and you can use a cotton fabric, or you can use, this one's more like outdoor furniture, home decorator type fabric. Any questions?
A wonderful job.
Oh, say that again.
You did a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for joining.
It's been